good morning. I want to welcome you this morning. Happy Father's Day if you are a father. And if you're new, especially a special warm welcome to you. If you have questions about what to do with your kids, or if you want information about the youth group or anything, there's a kids check-in in the Great Hall. You can stop by there, ask questions about what to do with your kids during the service if you want to. At this time, I would like you to stand with me, if you would. And we're going to read our call to worship here in just a second. But before we do, I want to pray for us, and I want us to just kind of settle our hearts. It's 8:30 in the morning, so there hasn't been a whole lot going on in our minds yet. But things can just kind of run and race, and if your mind is like mine. And so I just want to take a moment and let's just settle our hearts before the Lord. And I'll pray and we'll get started. Lord, we welcome you into this place. This is your time. This is your space. We give it to you. Lord, settle our hearts. Lord, may our worship be pleasing to you as we go through this morning. Amen. So, if you would, let's read our call to worship. During the season, it comes from Psalm 100. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing. Know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and bless his name. For the Lord is good. His steadfast love endures forever, and his faithfulness to all generations. Amen. Let's praise this Lord.
Our hope in life and death, Christ alone, Christ alone. What is our only confidence? That our souls to him belong, who holds our days within his hand. What comes apart from his command, and what will keep us to the end? The love of Christ in which we stand. Oh, sing hallelujah. Our hope springs eternal. Oh, sing hallelujah. Now and ever we confess Christ our hope in life and death. Truth can calm the troubled soul. God is good, God is good. Where is his grace and goodness known? In our great Redeemer's blood, who holds our faith when fears arise, who stands above the stormy trial, who sends the waves that bring us nigh unto the shore, the rock of Christ. Oh, sing hallelujah. Our hope springs eternal. Oh, sing hallelujah. Now and ever we confess Christ our hope in life and death. To the grave, what will we sing? Christ he lives, Christ he lives, and what reward will heaven bring? Everlasting life with him, and there we will rise to meet the Lord, and sin and death will be destroyed. face tomorrow because He lives. All fear is gone because I know He holds the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives. I can face tomorrow because He lives. All fear is gone because I know He holds the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know He holds the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives. And life is worth the living. And life is worth the living just because He lives. Amen. What good hope.
I had a moment this morning. I get up before my kids, of course. I have 2 kids, and it's Father's Day. But they eventually got up, and they didn't say Happy Father's Day. And I wasn't mad about it at all. I just wanted a hug because I'm a dad. I just wanted that moment of connection. So I razzed them, and I rizzed them, and I said, "Why are you watching that weird Disney show? It's Father's Day. Come give me a hug." And they came up and they said, "Dad, I'm sorry, I forgot." I said, "Oh, I ain't mad at all. I just want, the only thing I want is to be able to hug my kids this morning." And I don't know, we're kind of like that with the Lord. He deserves love and honor every day, and we forget to tell Him about it. And then He reminds us to come to Him and to open our hearts, not so that we would feel guilty. He just wants to declare His love to us again. That's something of what happens in the confession and absolution. And so would you confess with me so that we can run to the Father's arms again and have Him declare His love. Most merciful God, we confess that we have sinned against You in thought, word, and deed, by what we have done and by what we have left undone. We have not loved You with our whole hearts.
we have not loved our neighbors as ourselves. We are truly sorry, and we humbly repent. For the sake of your Son, Jesus Christ, have mercy on us and forgive us, that we may delight in your will and walk in your ways to the glory of your name. Amen. A moment of silence. And now, friends, hear about our Father's compassion. For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his steadfast love towards those who fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far does he remove our transgressions from us. As a father shows compassion to his children, so the Lord shows compassion to those who fear him. The steadfast love of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting. Amen.
Dear refuge of my weary soul, on thee when sorrows rise, on thee when waves of trouble roll, my fainting hope relies. To thee I tell each rising grief, for thou alone canst heal. Thy word can bring us sweet relief for every pain I feel.
be seated.
One of the images we use at Grace Chapel to shape our own imagination about what we hope that God is doing for us as a church and what the kind of church that we want to be is the image of a well-rooted tree that gives shade to those around it. And we want to give the shade of the Lord's help and blessing to the people in our congregation and also to our neighbors. And we do that in many ways. But one of the ways that we do that is by sharing our tithes and offerings together and by giving generously to be able to help those who have practical needs. And so we don't pass the offering bags or the offering plates anymore. So many people give online. But we do take a moment to pray, to cultivate a spirit of generosity in our hearts, to remember that this is a significant part of our life together as God's people. And so, will you pray with me? Lord Jesus Christ, thank you for everything that you have given us. Thank you for our life, our breath. Thank you for community. Thank you for the gospel. Thank you that your promises are sure. Thank you that you are faithful and that we can rely on you. You said, give and it will be given to you. And in the same measure as you give, it will be given to you again. Help us to give in the same measure as we have been gifted. Help us to give freely and sacrificially and cheerfully towards the work of your kingdom. Cause the seeds that we sow in generosity to grow into well-watered, fruitful trees of life that give shade and help and grace to many. Lord, bless us and keep us. Lord, make your face shine upon us, turn your face towards us, and give us your peace. Through Jesus Christ our Lord we pray. Amen.
Good morning. It's good to see all of you here. I don't know what happened right at this section. It's lovely to see all of you. My name's Joanna Spilker. I'm just going to give a few announcements this morning. The first is that we have online giving, prayer requests, and our Connect card available on our website, gracepca.com, or on the Church Center app. There's also little quarter sheets in the back of your pew if you prefer to write something down, and then you can drop those in the giving boxes in the back. If you have any questions about children's ministry, there's a table right out here in the Great Hall, and they can help direct you. And then 2 announcements. The first is that we have men's summer studies beginning in July. So the first one will be a 1 Kings Bible study, and that will be on Mondays, July 1st through the 22nd, from 6 to 7 a.m. And then the second will be Walking with God Through Pain and Suffering, and that one is a book study. And that will be on Tuesdays from July 30th to August 27th from 6 to 7 a.m. So a great chance for men to connect and learn together, so I'd encourage you to consider those. You can get more information on those at the events tab on our website. The second is just, we talked about this last week, but just the transition between our 2 summer services is short, and there's a lot of people coming and going. And so we'll dim the lights in the Great Hall as the second service starts. So if you're mingling out there when that happens, that's just a cue to try to keep your voices down so that folks can worship in here in a distraction relatively distraction-free space. And so we want you to enjoy fellowshipping. If there's a lot of people, other options would be like the conference room or to go enjoy some time outside chatting. So that is all for our announcements. You can now stand and greet one another. We'll come back together in 2 to 3 minutes for the preaching of God's word.
All right, everybody, let's gather together again. As we find our seats, let me add my welcome to the one I hope you just received. Yeah. My name is Ben, and if we haven't had a chance to meet, delighted to be here with you. For all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. We're about to turn our attention to God's Word. Before we do that, I always like to take a moment to kind of settle our hearts, kind of gather ourselves up and prepare ourselves to hear from the Lord. And maybe you can take this time just to say a little prayer for yourself. Lord, help. Speak to me, Lord, maybe. Or maybe you can say a little prayer for me. Settle his heart, Lord. But let's take a moment, and then I'll pray for us. Gracious Heavenly Father, would you speak to us about the seasons of our life, the things in our life that we can't control, that we have to surrender and live through, but where we can have faith that you hold these seasons, that you're directing our paths. And so we put our lives again in your hands. And we ask you to make us wise. Speak, Lord, your servants are listening. We give you praise and thanks in Christ's name. Amen. All right. We've been in a series looking at the seasons of our lives, looking at this wonderful poem in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. We took our first Sunday looking at this passage to look at the whole thing and to kind of give context and a framework. But lately we've been going through each verse by verse, talking about the various seasons of our lives. And so today, we'll just begin again and go to the next one. We're in Ecclesiastes 3, reading verses 1 through 3. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. And then our verse for today, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. As we've been going through the text, the sage here has been interested in beginnings and endings. First, talking about just the beginning and ending of our lives. We're born and then we die. And then last week, it was the beginning and the ending of all of our endeavors to plant and to pluck up what is planted. And we talked about endings, and sometimes endings are hard. But today, the sage wants us to reflect on endings that aren't just hard, they're tragic, even violent. That's what the author is saying when he says there's a time to kill and a time to break down. He's not saying that we should participate in these actions. We need to always remember that what's being described in this poem is not prescriptive, it's descriptive. These aren't things that you should participate in. These are things that you need to be prepared for. One of the things that the wisdom literature in the Bible does is it just aligns our expectations. And what the sage is saying is that the world, for all of its beauty, can be a frightening and violent place. Now, expecting violence doesn't excuse violence. Rather, it fortifies us so that we can look at the real world as it is and be adequately prepared. But also that we might feel a little more empowered and savvy and wise to negotiate its brokenness and places of devastation. There's two kinds of violence depicted here. First, it just says there's a time to kill. And killing has to do with just what you think it would have to do with. One creature takes accidental or intentional action to end the life of another. It's a feature of human life that goes all the way back to the beginning, when Cain killed his brother Abel in envy and jealousy. And since then, killing has become a regular feature of human life. A loved one is taken in a car wreck by a reckless driver. A person's life is taken in foul play. News of another mass shooting. Last week, Pastor Isaac, on his way home, he rides his bike every day to and from church. He picked up a number of bullet shells found in the street on his ride home on his bike. We can grow numb to something like that. But how strange and sad it is to live in a world where you can't take a bike ride without picking up gun shells where children play. And it's not just killing, it's this phrase, breaking down. There's a time to break down. And the word there has to do with a wall being breached. It's like an army breaching a wall, invading a city. And so there's this reality where a human being can be killed, but also where a human life can still be there, but it's wrecked, broken into, broken down, destroyed. 2 conversations I've had in the last month as a pastor. One with a young woman overseas who has been misused for years by someone who claims to be a pastor. In a culture where she holds no power and he holds all the cards. No criminal justice system that will help a young girl whose world has been stormed by evil men pretending to be shepherds. Another conversation with an international student who was taken advantage of by sophisticated schemes aimed at international students in order to take their money. I'll give you one more for free. Men and women who meet individuals on Christian dating apps, but who prey on Christians because they know they're generous, and through their interactions take advantage of them financially. It's when people storm our worlds and break down our walls of trust and safety. They may not take our lives, but through violent action, they take our livelihoods. They take our dignity. They take our property. They storm into our worlds and break down the walls of safety, and they leave our lives in ruins. These things happen in God's good world. There's a time to kill and a time to break down. Happy Father's Day! Why linger here? Well, one, it's just the world we live in. The scriptures are filled with scenes that would be rated R or worse. Like if you really read it, if you've cracked the Bible in a while, it's made you uncomfortable. Scenes of violence, rape, misuse, and abuse. Why are such scenes in our Bible? Perhaps because people live through such things every day. People who have these things happen to them, those stories are in our congregation. It's because we see these grotesque and inhumane things every day of our lives. And the Bible lets us see reality as it actually is sometimes. It's true to what is there. And sometimes what's there in the world frightens us and repulses us. So it is with the Bible. It provides a token to us that God is not squeamish or unable to handle the worst things that life can dish out. So if you long for authenticity and authentic accounting of life, if you don't want to whitewash what is, the Bible gains our respect. There's a realism here. It's a text that wants us to be prepared, to not be naive about how the world can be. And so in the Proverbs, it identifies the voice of the mocker and the scoffer and the fool. In the introduction to the Proverbs, the very first piece of instruction, after just telling us what wisdom is don't join a gang. It provides wisdom to help us promote safety. Something as simple but profound as don't go out into the streets alone. And so Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12 says this: two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, and has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. Now, you may have had that read at your wedding, and that's a fine place to read that text. I've preached it at many weddings. But we should recognize that the application is much broader than that. And what it's saying is, it's good to be together, because in this crazy and broken world, we can defend one another. We need defense and community and the strength that comes with it. It's wise. It's why we have a safety and security team at our church. It's why we have hours for our neighbors when our doors are open, when anyone from the neighborhood can come in and seek help. And we have hours where we risk being seen as unwelcoming because it may not be safe because there's one person here in the church. It's why we have strong policies to protect our children, and where anyone who works with a child must go through a background check. The scriptures just ask us to be wise. It tells the truth. It prepares us. And its hope is that this all changes us. Maybe you read through a psalm a day. I certainly do. And you come across something like Psalm 10. Psalm 10 is written about people who are being murdered in the streets by violent gangs. Merry Christmas. This is one of their voices. Psalm 10, starting in verse 8. He sits in ambush in the villages. In hiding places, he murders the innocent. His eyes stealthily watch for the helpless. He lurks in ambush like a lion in his thicket. He lurks that he may seize the poor. He seizes the poor when he draws him into his net. The helpless are crushed, sink down, and fall by his might. He says in his heart, God has forgotten. He has hidden his face. He will never see it. Arise, O Lord. O God, lift up your hand. Forget not the afflicted. Okay, so let's say that's your psalm for the day. What do you do when you come to that psalm? Are you like, oh no, I got to go to something more applicable? So, something about being dry spiritually. And the Lord being like a well of water. Or something about delight and joy coming in the morning. But I've come to see these parts of Scripture. They're not here to give me language to express myself to God. These are allowing the voices and experiences of God's people in this broken world to express themselves to me. Perhaps in praying a psalm like this, what God's letting us do is feel the fuller sadness. Perhaps he's letting us see just how far from Eden and heaven we are, so it might awaken in us a longing for redemption. Maybe a psalm like this could finally arouse us from our apathy to say, enough! There must be more than this. And there is more than this. There is a time to heal and a time to build up. Healing here means to repair, to bring something back. A wound begins to heal. So you tore your meniscus playing pickleball, like 80% of men and women over 50 in our country. Orthopedists are having a heyday with the pickleball resurgence. Holy cow. But let's say you tore your meniscus playing pickleball, and after some good physical therapy and laying it off for a while, you wear the boot, you begin to heal, and you can play pickleball again. That's healing. Healing can happen to your body. Healing can happen to your heart. And so you're a person who's been assaulted, violated. And for a long time, it's hard not to go out of your house. You're anxious, afraid. But slowly but surely, through counseling and prayer, wounds begin to heal, and you begin to venture out again. And at some point, it feels almost normal. It's healing for the heart. Faith can heal. Peter denies Jesus 3 times and then goes back to fishing because he believes that what he's done it's too far, it's too much. Then one morning in Jesus' presence, through the power of forgiveness and Jesus' love, Peter finds himself restored. Actually taking up the position that he had once lost. His faith healed by the love of Christ. Healing. I think about how central Jesus' healing miracles are to the gospel stories. Jesus there to reveal something about our Creator's heart. One theologian said that Jesus' healings are the only natural things in a world that is unnatural, demonic, and wounded. Jesus' miracles are his way of pointing ahead to a day that someday God will come and Jesus will come and he'll heal all wounds. There's a time to heal. There's also a time to build up. To build up here means not to repair, but to build up from scratch. To build from the ground up. So healing looks back and you're kind of doing the thing you did before. Building is starting completely over. It's not repairing what's there. It's making something new out of the wreckage. And so when my wife's house was destroyed by a tornado, they didn't repair the house. They had to start fresh and build it up new. My father doesn't have the use of his legs anymore. He's in a scooter full time. That part of him will never be healed. He can't move around like he used to. He can no longer travel, and so what he does is he builds ships. And I imagine him traveling the oceans of the world in his mind. He's built something new out of the wreckage of life. Sometimes there are things taken from us that can't be repaired or restored in this life, but that doesn't mean that God is through with us. I think about a man named Chris Castillo, who was a journalist. And what he did as a journalist is he covered crime But he could no longer do that, he found, when a relative was killed through criminal activity. He was just too close to it. He couldn't do that job anymore. He had to let it go. But what happened is over time he began a ministry whose aim was to heal victims of crime and to bring change to the perpetrators of crime. He would have never imagined in his entire life that that's what his life would be given to, but it's what the Lord built, using the pain of his story to help others. A time to build up. Jesus talked about his own life in this way. So the week before his death, he was speaking to his enemies who were trying to kill him, and he said, "If you tear this temple down, I will rebuild it in 3 days." And of course, he wasn't talking about his temple. He was talking about his body and his life and his mission. And his enemies put him to death, and his body was raised, built up in glory, the same, yet different. And Jesus said that that type of building up, that type of eternal, glorified building up, building project, is going to happen in each one of our lives if we've given our hearts and lives to him. This is how Paul talks about it. In 2 Corinthians, he says, "For we know that if the tent," he's talking about our bodies, "that is our earthly home is destroyed, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens." And then he says this, "so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life." And so Jesus says, don't be afraid of those who kill the body. They can't take your soul. Look to God who keeps both the body and the soul. There's a time for healing and there's a time for building up. And so we can be naive about the violence in this world and how hard this world can be, but we can also be resistant to the healing and the building up that God wants to bring to us and through us, both in this life and the one to come. In our world, it's just the case that the bad news is highlighted more than the good news. Violence is highlighted. Healing is ignored because healing and building up apparently makes bad news. So I'm not sure about you, but there are weeks when it seems that my news feed is replaced with some kind of atrocity of the day calendar. And to watch it, one might think that everything is going to hell in a handbasket. But the scriptures tell us a different story. A story that doesn't end at the fall. It moves to redemption, to new creation. A story in which God is intimately at work in the world in a myriad of mustard seed ways to bring healing to the scars caused by human sin, to bring hope to humanity. That all of the tragedy and realism about human sin and its consequences are held in this story that's headed towards healing and redemption, and a Savior who stands over the broken mess of it all and says, "Behold, I am making all things new." And so as Christians, we can sit in the suffering. We're sober people. We can name evil and forces of violence and unbelief, we can confess our own complicity in the mess. We can lament and protest, but what we can never do is concede more ground to Satan than he himself has claimed. Evil may have the news cycle. It does not have the victory. And the darkness and violence does not get to have our hearts. It does not get to feel our minds. It does not get to steal our joy or rob us of our hope for healing. Because we serve a God who came into the world, entered the pain of it all, experienced violence, was killed. The building of his body was broken down. He was abused and misused, and he went through it and came out the other side so that we could know what our God can do with a season of killing, what he does when things are broken down, what he can make out of horror and tragedy. To know that these seasons are not outside of his redemptive plan or his control. The scriptures give us the categories we need to handle life. An honest realism about the brokenness in our world, but also the hope of the healing power of God to overcome any evil. And so, yes, to be wise, I need to have the capacity to hold in my heart the possibility that I and others around me are capable of great evil. But I also have to have the strong sense that through the power of God, any sin and any sinner can be redeemed. There are no lost causes. In fact, I need a context as large and as real and as hopeful as the Bible itself so that we can deal with the ambiguities of life and the actual circumstances in which people live their lives. We might say it like this. If the life of David, that comprised prayer and adultery and murder, could be written and told as a gospel story, no one in our lives can be written off. Everyone in our life must be seen as a work in project, a novel in which everyone and everything is connected in a salvation story in which Jesus gets the last word. And so I don't know what you need to hear as we come to the table. Maybe you feel like the walls of safety and security have been broken down. Maybe you're in a season of breaking down and killing. And you just need to remember that you come to the table and you see the bread broke apart and you see the wine being poured out and you need to say, that's my God. He's been there too. He's lived through these seasons and he can bring me through. Perhaps you know someone in such a season. And you're being called to come to the table and to remember that you are a part of the body of Christ. You are his hands and feet, and he still means to bring healing and to build up. Is there a place where you're being uniquely called to be an agent of healing? To build up the waste place of this person's life? In all of it, the Lord is pointing us to a time when we will feast forever We are being asked to have an imagination that can believe that we are caught in a temporary little drop of sadness here on earth, and it will eventually be removed. And the universe at its core is an endless ocean of joy and glory. And on the day of Christ's glory, I will rise, and there will be an ultimate dawn to end all night times and darkness. It gives us hope, and it creates motivation in us to join him in his healing work. Would you pray with me? Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for holding in our hands the seasons of our life, the tragic and terrible endings, the seasons of healing and hopefulness. I pray for all of those who are just wondering where you're at in the midst of the wreckage of a particular moment. And I pray that they would come to see you as the God who has entered in and experienced all measures of sadness and suffering and trial, so that we could know that we're not alone. So we may not know why we're going through that moment, but we can know what the answer can be. It's not because you don't love us, and it's not because you don't care. And I pray, Lord, that you would make us wounded healers ourselves, who can move into your world with a vision of what it means to be your body, to build up, to heal. And so, Lord, thank you for your grace and your goodness. As we come to the table today, would you be here and bless us? We give you praise and thanks in Christ's name. Amen. Amen. As we come to the table, we remember the night that Jesus was betrayed. And that evening, he took bread, and after giving thanks, he broke it. And he said, "This is my body, it's broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, after supper, he took the cup, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood. It's poured out for the forgiveness of sins. Do this whenever you drink of it in remembrance of me. For whenever you eat this bread and whenever you drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes again." And so this table isn't the table of our church, our denomination. It belongs to King Jesus. And it belongs to every man, woman, and child who belongs to him. And so if you love him and follow him, come. He is present with us, and he wants to feed our hearts with the truth of the gospel this morning. For some reason, you're here and you haven't yet made that commitment to Christ. And we're so glad that you're here. And we hope this can be a place for pilgrims who are asking and seeking and knocking, asking life's most basic questions. Is God there? Is he real? Does he love me? What does he want from me? If you're here and you're asking those questions, man, we're so glad. And we hope we can create opportunities for you to come and know this God who loves you so much that he sent his only son. But we know that takes time. And we want you to be able to belong before you believe. And so please join us in our community. Really, the one thing we would ask you not to partake in today is the table, because to come to the table is to say, I belong to Christ, and he lives in me. But for now, I'm going to pray that this time is beneficial and a blessing to all of us. Let me pray for us. Gracious Heavenly Father, come by your Spirit, restore our hearts, bring healing and building up to the broken places of our lives by reminding us of your presence, your grace, and your love. We give you praise and thanks in the strong name of Jesus. Amen. All right. So if you're in these two center sections of pews, come down the center aisle. When you get to the table, you can take a piece of the pre-cut bread and you can dip it in the juice or in the wine. There's pre-packaged elements here in the center if that would be helpful to you. Then you can partake here and go back to your seat and be seated. If you're in the two outside sections of pews, you can exit towards the outside. Come down to these stations. If you're in the balcony, Elder Baker's up there to serve you. But come with expectation in your hearts, dear one. The Lord wants to meet us here by His Spirit. So come. Let's keep the feast. Praise God from whom all
Time I tried to make it on mine. Every time I tried to stare, stuck too far. And all those lonely roads that I have traveled on, and there was Jesus. When the life I built came crashing to the ground, the friends I had were nowhere to be found. I couldn't see it then, but I can see it now. There was Jesus. In the waiting, in the searching, in the healing and the hurting, like a blessing buried in the broken pieces. Every moment where I've been and where I'm going, even when I didn't know it, I couldn't see it. There was Jesus. Well, this man who needs amazing kind of grace, for forgiveness at a price I couldn't pay. Well, I'm not perfect, so I thank God every day. And there was Jesus. In the waiting, in the searching, in the healing and the hurting, like a blessing buried in the broken pieces. Every minute, every moment, where I've been and where I'm going, even when I didn't know it, I couldn't see it. There was Jesus on the mountain, in the valleys, in the shadows of the alleys, in the fire, in the flood. Always is and always was. No, I never walk alone. You were always there. In the waiting, in the searching, in the healing and the hurting, like a blessing buried in the broken pieces. Every minute, every moment, where I've been and where I'm going, even when I didn't know it, I couldn't see it. There was Jesus. There was Jesus. There was Jesus. Would you stand with us? Let's sing one more. As we go out, let's go out praising the Lord. cost. We stood neath the debt we could never afford. Our sins, they are many, His mercy is more. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. His mercy is more. Stronger than darkness, forevermore. Our sins, they are many. One more time. Praise the Lord. His mercy is more. Stronger than darkness, new every morn. Our sins, they are many. His mercy is more.
Yes, that is what I think as well. As you leave this place, as always, greet one another with the peace and grace and love that's yours in Christ Jesus. I'm going to invite the men and women of the prayer team to come forward, standing here faithfully, week in and week out. Their hearts are to intercede for you. And so if you're going through a moment of pain, or you know somebody who is, or you have a particular need, let these dear ones pray for you. And then the Lord wants to build you up. There's places of wreckage in your life that He wants to build up. There's wounds that He desires to heal. And so let's go with expectation that our world is filled with the kindness and the healing love of God. Go with His blessing upon you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up the light of His countenance upon you and give you His mercy, His peace, His healing, now and forever. Amen.
Go, bro. Popped right in there. Oh, shoot. No. Oh, no. So what did you do? Did you take your headphones off? Okay. Right. Okay. All right. Have some. Oh no, oh no. Yeah. Right. And just fiddle. That's right.